Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. David here,
Isaac,
and today we're going to
talk about
not really talk about, but just
discuss.
discuss. Yeah,
Yes, fine. We're
discuss
discussing
manhwas, aka
Cor-
Korean manga or anime,
Korean manga.
comic, because it's in color, so it's comics.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like color.
It's good, but sometimes if you do colors for anime or mangas, they just
No, well, okay. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat. So I'm one of these guys that don't read mangas. I always thought that it was a little too much commitment.
That's
you
true.
know, I am a watcher. I like to watch, and then when the episodes are up,
me too.
I wait until then make more. Right, which in many of those animes and such, they don't make more for a
Mhm.
long time.
No,
Which
no.
is kind of unfortunate. Which is probably also what drives a lot of people to go reading, right?
Mhm.
Because they're probably tired of waiting, or they're very excited for what comes next, and they just can't wait, so they just go reading, right? Which actually happened for me today when I was watching the first episode of Solo Leveling that came out,
hmm
right?
I didn't even
And-
know it came out.
Right. So I watched it and I was like, what else is there? And then it turns out that it's I would much rather read a manhwa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too much information on one page. That's the problem with me and manga. Manga is like barfing info in my eyes, and it kind of gives me a headache, and I don't really know
Yeah.
what's going on. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
With the manhwa,
Yeah.
it's nice. You read in a normal way,
Mhm.
like you would read a book from right to
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
from left to right,
Some left to
and
right.
from top to bottom. It's in color. I know exactly what's going on. You just kind of just scroll down. It's like
And I have to say the pacing for manhwas are way better sometimes than anime because it gets to the point.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't drag a turn around. Well, what about this? This filler? There's none. Okay, it gets to the point.
Yeah,
This
we
is
just-
what's going on.
yeah.
We just go for it.
Yeah, so I was reading that today, and I'm like, you know what? All right. I thought I would stop after like maybe like a couple chapters, but no, I kept going because I'm like, all I do is
Mhm.
just scroll down and read pretty quickly here. Just scroll. You get through it, and it's not too much. It's enjoyable. I
Okay.
can't do that with a
Okay.
manga. I
So,
can't
by
do
the way, I put Isaac on manhwas because, I told him, well, we should talk about this, and he's like, "What's this about?" I never even heard
right.
this
I
name.
never heard of it.
Yeah, so he went as a homework. He just went in, and now he understands what manhwas are and how great they are. And some of them, I'm not going to lie, they're trash, but most are good. Most are good, and that's where we get to the side of the topic where people always say I'm hating, but it's just the facts.
You are hating.
Now, the part where I'm going to hate is I don't like the fact that, especially for solo leveling, because it got so popular that a lot of those creators, artists, decided to go in the same direction.
Yes. Okay, yes. Because already, so okay, so like, there's a lot of these manhwas are first of all they do pattern after Japanese anime,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
They're
mhm.
very much similar. Heck, Solo Leveling, that episode that came out, they're speaking in Japanese even though they're Korean.
Yeah,
right?
because most of the studios are Japanese.
No, right, but like
Japanese
I
based.
see things like in Solo Leveling that reminds me of Sword Art Online. Right? And so and there's a lot of this, like a lot of these dungeons and going on quests kind of things.
But that's
There's a lot of
that's a
those.
Korean thing. Like if you've been like reading manuals since the start, even before solo leveling came out, that's been their thing.
Oh, and they also do a lot of, they talk a lot about God. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
The Tower of God, the God of high school.
Mm.
In Solo Leveling, that first thing, worship the
Yeah,
Lord.
and in other
God, like,
animes,
it's-
for example, totally forgot some of their names, but yeah, a lot of them have like awakeners, and their gods are watching them. Like sometimes they even hear the god speaking. Oh, this god is displeased with your action or whatever, and those kind of like. If you keep watching manhwas, you're going to find out like there's a lot of tower-based
yeah.
and then there's a lot of awakened
Like-
human going to dungeons doing stuff, a lot of them. So and the issue is some of them even got to the point where they had to copy the same name as Solo Leveling. I'm like,
Really?
Solo Leveling, Solo Player 100. You're like, and then you're getting, oh, it's the same guy. Black jacket, black hair, super tall, got jacked after he got into the system. Blah, blah, yeah. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, and that's really.
And the other thing is the
What?
system.
Oh,
A lot of them have system, and that's maybe 90% of the manhwas. They have a system. You know the gaming system that appear for the guy in
Yeah.
Solo Leveling. A lot of them do. Even though they're not about awakeners, a lot of them do. But I actually like how they do it, because the next one is not always the same. The
yeah. Well,
concept
that
might
is
be
the
the
thing.
same,
I
but
mean, if it's exactly the same, then it's like we obviously know you're
Yeah,
copying, so you
yeah.
can't really do that. You have to do something a little different. But talking about the Tower of God,
nah. Now
you
you're
know,
touching
which
the
I know
deep subject right here.
it's not a deep subject, but I mean, I did watch it, and I didn't read any of the manhwa stuff. I only watched the episodes that came out.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like season
Well,
1 or whatever.
Let's just call it the anime. It's
Yeah.
the anime.
And you know, there's a lot of things I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why. I feel like a lot of people say that Bomb. I don't care for his name either. Bomb.
Yeah, the
Like,
name was not it for me. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like, you could have picked
Okay,
something
whatever.
a little cooler.
but
I'm
it's
sure.
it's
But,
not actually
hey,
no,
it's in-
but that's
is-
the
is it in
in the
Korean?
anime. In the manhwa or the comic, it's different.
Yeah.
It's actually Ban. It's BAN. It's Ban or Bon. But in the anime, it's like bomb. You're like okay, like is there somewhere that I need to apply some bomb? I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I didn't care for the name. No, but well, you know, there's things I don't get, like how out of nowhere when he makes it in the tower, like this princess just comes down and is like, oh,
No,
oh,
but
poor
she's
kid.
looking for the rest of the 13.
Yeah, all right, but those swords,
yeah,
right?
yeah. She's
but
looking
like
for the rest.
she's looking for the rest, and she's like, oh, hey, there's this newcomer. How cute he is! Here, have a sword. Defeat the
But
enemy. Take it.
She
I'm like,
wanted
what?
to give him a chance.
She wanted to give, and you know the way like she starts like talking to him like they've known each other for like all lives, their whole life.
Dude, that's
No, man.
That's shonen anime 101.
No,
That's
that-
always like out of nowhere.
Look,
Now
my
we're best
first
friends
reaction
and-
to, because we've all watched a lot of anime,
Yeah.
and for me that was just like, that was a little weird. And then afterward, they keep saying oh, Bum is so great, he's so wonderful, he's so great,
Because
and I
he's
was
a good
like,
guy.
I was like, hold on, let me rewatch this. So I got to like episode 6, 7, or 8 or something, and then I was like, why do they keep saying this guy is great? He hasn't done anything. So I rewatched it from episode 1 to see what does it actually do. Episode 1, okay, he shows a little brilliance after he gets help from a stranger who probably shouldn't even have been there, but anyway, he defeats that thing, right?
Okay.
Okay. Episode 2, he would be dead without that blue-haired guy with the suitcase.
What's his name again?
I can't
I'm
remember
going
his
to
name.
call him the Korean Sasuke.
Kun? Kun?
So he's a coon now? Like, what are you talking?
No, I think his name is
That's
Kun.
something else I want to mention. Their name is so trash.
No,
Like,
I think his name is Kun.
they picked. It's like KU.
But it's like Korean-
KUN.
It's a Korean name.
No. Like you see,
There's
Solo
an H in there
Leveling.
somewhere.
Their name. It's like proper Korean. It's like a Summon Hoon.
Right,
Something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
they do have those, yeah.
Yeah, but then you come into God of High School. No, even God of High School is good. The naming is alright.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like Tower of God is like really.
Well, okay, they decided to do something different. You're not gonna hate on them because
Yeah.
of names. But my point is, Kun carries this guy along with that weird animal gator that they
Yeah.
call him a gator.
Uh-huh.
He carries them pretty much throughout the rest of the thing. It's always his plans, his ideas. It's always him who's doing all the work.
No,
Why
but-
isn't everybody saying that he's the great guy? He's the great guy. He's the one doing all the work.
But that's his job. He's trying to make him look the great guy because he's like, damn, I like this guy. He's not trying to scheme. He's not anything. He's like,
He
I
isn't
want to see
trying
where
to
he's-
scheme.
Yeah.
He's pure. That's what they were saying. Like, he's still innocent and whatever. Okay, Fine, but like don't make it out like he like
He's a great
saved
guy.
the tower
You
or
see
saved people's lives or
the
whatever.
rabbit guy, like the administrator.
Yeah, the guy with
first,
the-
yeah, the rabbit
yeah.
guy. You see, he explains that the tower, everything that happens in the tower is for a reason, and even luck is a power. That's why he tells to that girl, "You're not lucky. He's lucky. Why are you blaming him? That's a power too, because some people are
I'm
not."
okay with that.
And
Just-
that's where that if you take his logic, him being called great is also an effect from the tower. It's leading him to become the greatest whatever
but
ranker.
what did he do that people can call him great? Nothing. Nothing. He
But,
didn't
okay,
do anything.
Okay, what did he do to get into the tower? Nothing. He didn't do nothing. And most of them didn't do anything to get into the tower. And that's also
But then what did the girl do to get in the tower? Whatever her name
she
is.
wasn't
What's
there.
her name?
It was for him, Rachel.
Ah, yeah.
It wasn't for for
Yeah,
her.
there's
It
a
was
normal name.
It was for him. The
Yeah,
door
but-
opened for him.
Yeah, but she got in.
She got him on technicalities, like, and then that's why the guy is like, "What are you doing here?"
I
He
remember
was so
that.
surprised, like, well, "Who are you?"
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it. I was like, I kind of like suffered through watching it until the last episode. The
When
last
she pushed
episode is
him?
where I was like, all right, now we're talking. Because even when she pushed him, I was like, for a moment, they really had me going. You know, I thought, oh, okay, so she came around.
I feel like Rachel is us, the watchers. It's like, yeah, kill him, kill him. Dude, I like, I don't know. It's sometime in my life I feel like, no, at a certain point in my life I shifted of becoming a villain. I like villains now. I don't know how, when, and why, but when I see
Is
villain,
anybody surprised that this guy likes the villains?
now, every time I see villain actions in anime, I'm like, yes. That's
mean,
why. That's
a
why I'm a
cool
big
villain
fan of
is cool.
of Sukuna too. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, well, you were calling him a fraud not too long
No,
ago.
I was
here.
calling him a fraud, and I still do. Like, he's a
I
great
don't.
villain.
I don't.
But
I mean,
I
after
will-
seeing what he's done, you know, when we talked about this whole JJK stuff, I wasn't quite on the page yet. Now that I've watched it myself, I'm like, what are you guys barking about? He's
The
strong.
reason why we say he's a fraud is because he was trying to face the strongest ever, and even he realized, oh, I'm not strong enough. Hey, Megumi, help me out. What's this?
Fine.
You see, people are like, oh no, he's just like 1,000 IQ, blah blah blah. I'm like, no,
But
you're
him
weak.
being strong enough and smart enough to know that I need this power to beat yours, that's still part
No,
of
no,
him
no, no,
being
no, no,
great.
no, no. It contradicts you saying that I'm like a natural disaster. I'm this. I'm
No,
blah, blah,
he
blah,
is
blah.
still a natural disaster.
No.
He's shown it
Okay,
in
okay,
Shibuya.
Okay, let's say like a blizzard just erupts. Boom, blizzard. And it's like, wait, why
Erupts.
aren't you guys getting cold? Like, why aren't you guys freezing to death? You know what? I'm going to open the sky to let the outside air to come in. People are going to be like, yo, what is this? That's
Yeah.
cheating. Use your own strength.
I don't think that's a fair point.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. If, for example, Floyd Mayweather fights another boxer, the match is for tomorrow, and for a month he's just been talking. You won't even get to the first or to the second round. Blah 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 blah. I'm this. I'm that. My punches are lethal. Whatever, whatever, whatever. He just keeps on spewing. And then once he gets there, he's all tucked in, all safe, throwing 1-2 punches. You're like, dude, really? Like, please.
Okay, fine. I understand your point, but I mean, he's still very strong. He's still extremely strong, in fact. I mean, do you know when he was fighting that volcano dude? And when he appears, when those two guys are gonna run,
Yeah.
and they all just like sweat, and he's like, nobody moves until I say so, and they're all like, oh crap, okay.
No,
okay.
no, no, no.
But I mean,
You good?
I apologize. Whew. Right, and then everybody's like,
Okay.
and you know, like nobody's moving. They're all sweating, even though they're all strong, right? But it's like, man, if we move
It's
here, we know this
It's the
guy
same
can
thing
just
with
kill us.
Gojo. It's just that Gojo is a good guy.
Right. I mean, Gojo is also that strong. In fact, if Gojo was alive in the time when Sukuna was
He would
the
have
big
killed
cheese,
Sukuna.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not like Sukuna is not what he says that he is. It's just that Gojo's that much stronger.
Did this video just turn into a JJK analysis? Like, what is this?
Anyway, back to the Tower of
but
God.
yeah, I introduced this because I was talking about villains, and the thing of Tower of God, there is like, if you watch it, where I got to the 350 some chapter, because I've
Because you're
known
reading.
about this for a year, like a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I've been reading this for a
Yeah,
long
I'd
time.
heard about it, but I never got interested.
So I got it, and once you reach there, you're like, there's not really a villain. It's just that people are scared of him because he's an unknown, and there's multiple
They're
unknown
scared of whom?
of Bond.
But Bomb's not a villain.
No, but the tower is scared because he can shift the ratio of powers and the stability made by the king and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and this king thing.
Oh, the guy is broken, by the way.
So there's like stuff I really don't understand in there. Okay, so people can climb the tower as many times as they
Yeah,
want,
he's at the top.
right?
Yeah.
Can you climb the tower as many times as you want?
Once you reach the top and you got your wish,
You become one of those people.
yeah, you
don't
become a
uh,
ranker.
Yeah. So rankers can just he gets up there, he gets his wish, and then he can climb again.
No, if he climbs
No,
again,
he-
there's no wish anymore.
But you know that
Because
guy,
you already got your wish, there's no point.
that blonde haired guy,
Yeah.
and he wants to climb the tower again with that other red haired guy.
Yeah, no, he will climb the tower again to get strong because, like, depending on the era or the time that you started climbing, some people were strong and some were not, depending on the time you climbed it. And you might have gotten there, but you weren't that strong because some of them
But you
are
got your-
higher than rankers. Because, yeah, there's like expert rankers, there are blah, 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 blah.
So this is people who have climbed the tower multiple times.
And who are like maybe
But
masters.
why?
But you see, that's another point of Tower of God where they don't explain those stuff. It's like, for example, okay, if you say most people live in the tower, then
Yeah, that
like,
thing too.
then the people outside, what's going on outside of the tower then? What is this?
And how do you get in? How did I get in?
That's why they're unknowns, anomalies. And there's another guy like Bond. I told you there's like multiple of them, but every single one of them are ridiculously strong. And there's this one guy, I forgot what his name, but he has his name tattooed on his back.
Oh yeah,
and
him.
Every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
he appears, people are like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
guy."
What was his name? It starts with a name, I think. I forget. Yeah,
he's-
but yeah.
He wears like shorts, tank top, whatever. That guy, he's ridiculously strong, and
Yeah.
he's even compared close to the king. Like this, you see?
And how come this king only picks girls to be princesses? Well, I mean, okay, but but I mean, like, doesn't he have like princes?
They don't explain. They don't explain. Like, even once you get to like chapter 400 or something, there is no prince. You don't see a prince. You don't see, and you just explain his story.
And then
He's
like,
one of the first climbers.
right,
And the
he
first
got up there.
patriarch and matriarchs of the families are one of the first who reached the top.
So then, but he like won't let these girls like do the deed. So
because he doesn't want a prince who's going to take over his crown.
okay,
And
fine.
the other family are already plotting against him. And Bond's mother and father, they're from that group of the first climbers.
Oh,
Yes.
that's probably why he's strong then, is it?
Not just that, but he's also an outsider. So all that just. So is Rachel. So I'm like, why didn't we see like where Rachel was living? Was she just there going to that cave and throwing him food? Like, what's
Yeah,
going
but
on?
also he was just in that cave like his whole life.
Yeah, apparently.
How was he alive? How is he alive?
See, that's where you and I get serious on this stuff. and
Also,
we
why
want
can he
answers.
see the light? Because his eyes have been in darkness all this time.
Let me see the light.
No, but anyway, once she pushes him, because they had me going. I was like, oh,
She's
she
the true
came
villain.
around.
She's the true
she's
villain.
Actually, she's gonna, and then she pushes him, and I'm like, What? What are you doing?
Yeah. No, what the
It actually made me laugh and it had me surprised at
I
the
saw
same
that
time.
when it was in a comic. The anime didn't come out. Yeah, I was reading it. I'm like, what? What's going on here? Did she really push him? Or
Yeah,
something
she
happened?
pushed it.
Because
No,
when you
right?
look at a comic, it's
That
not
made
really
me laugh.
clear,
Yeah.
but you know what happened because they explain it. You're like, oh. And by the way, she's in a wheelchair, right?
Right, and then she stands up.
And nobody knows that she can stand up
Right.
except my guy Coon, who's like,
Oh,
bro,
did he figure?
yeah, season 2 he figures it out
Yeah, because this whole time
because
they're
he
like,
puts a camera in his room.
because for me the thing
in her
is,
room.
they're like, oh, the best thing we can do for our buddy here is to help her climb the tower, and I'm like, no. And then she laughs. What had me going? What got me was when she thought about what she did and she laughed. You know that like kind of like
Mhm.
evil person's laugh, like haha, I finally
But
succeeded in my scheme. I was like, no,
Later
now
on,
I have to see how this
later
ends.
on, Bun is like, you know, I have my friends. I'm tired of chasing after you. I won't care about you anymore, whatever
But
you
it
do.
can't be.
And then
because-
once he turned his back, he's like, you don't want to know about your mother? Yes, that's right. You will always chase after me. I'm like, dang, no. But I'm like, oh, come on.
this
It's
girl is
just-
sick.
She's evil. She's evil. And then one
Wha-
of the
but what I don't understand is why? Why is she
you know
like
one
this?
of the
I mean, this
main
guy's
one
like,
of the main families actually was like, I like this girl. I'm going to use her to get to that kid or get whatever I want. And he give her a ridiculous power. You're like, people giving this trash power. Yeah, this anime this manhwa gets to the point where you're like, man, this is good, but at the same time it's too much. It's one of those where you're like, dude, this can go maybe like 2,000 chapters. We won't reach the end because they're trying too much to go into too much details. Like,
No, well,
it's
I
at
mean,
500
I do
chapters,
want
and
detail, but
they've
it's just-
only reached like the 80th floor.
and
Something.
how many floors are there?
That's also a good question. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they say it, but I don't remember. Because once I reached the 300 chapters and it was over, there weren't chapters anymore, I stopped watching it. So it'd be like reading it. It's been like 2.5 years now or 3
Oh.
that I stopped reading it. So now I checked and it's like a 500, almost 600. I'm like, I keep going. I mean, I'm not going to like get behind it like weekly. So yeah, I mean, it's a good concept. It's one of the first of the
Right.
tower thing. It's one of the first.
Yeah.
If you see the comic, the way it's drawn, you're like, yeah, this is really old. But at the same time, you realize
But it's
this
still
is-
colored, right?
yeah, it's
They're still
colored. It's
yeah,
colored,
'cause
and
that's the thing. No, because I've seen a thing that didn't have color on it.
it's probably just like a splash shot something.
It was when that guy who's just like a bomb with the tattoos on his back was fighting. If I remember correctly, yeah, there was no color on that one.
No, there's
want the
most no.
color.
The entire thing is colored. It's probably just that
It better
scene.
be, 'cause
I'm telling you, I've reached a 300 and some chapter. I'm telling you, it's in color.
Because that's really what's working for me is
Yeah.
it's the color. I don't. It's like I'm still watching,
Mhm.
but I'm not. You know, I'm because the stuff we watch is in color,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I like stuff in color, so I can read, and it's in color, and it's not too much. It's good. Unlike the manga.
But yeah, most
Not in color.
like not most actually every single manhwas are in color.
Yeah, I like that.
Every
I
single
wish
one of
they
them.
would do manga in color too,
Mhm.
which they have done.
But I feel like that's why it takes them a long time to publish.
because they have to put the
Yeah,
color.
they have to put color, and most of you see the art, the way it's drawn, you realize it's like on a computer. It's different from the rest, so like you have to take more time, like precise, fix the lines, and then publish it. But I'm like, some of the stories are so good. You're like, dude, you only have 120 chapters. A studio should be behind you pushing this out.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who've got good stuff there. So hey,
Dude, I've watched a lot to a point where I'm like, I didn't want to watch this, but I'm going to watch because I'm like, I've seen almost all of them.
really,
Yeah,
you have a lot of time
almost.
on your hands.
I don't watch the ones that are like 200 chapters, 300 chapters. The 100 chapters one that I watch, I'm like, first chapter, second chapter, oh, this is good, I watch. But then like you get to a point because it's like 30 chapters in one sitting, you finished it all. It's not that long because yeah, it's not like the mangas that are like complicated, multiple
Yeah, I mean
scenes.
the manga is just it's why is it so much on one page? It's so much on one, and I know it's their style. They're not gonna change. It's
It's their
just
style.
it's
That's
just
all.
so much on one page sometimes.
So if I go to the manga and comic, I'll rather watch the manhwa's comic,
Yeah, me too.
but I'll rather watch the Japanese anime
Yeah,
because I've watched the Korean anime and like.
yeah, it is.
I even watched the Chinese anime and oh.
What?
The Chinese animes are like just watching the kung fu movies on steroids. That's all. With superpowers. They're
Well,
like
I've never. I
there's
had a
only
friend.
one Chinese anime that I'm like, this is so good. Why you
Yeah,
guys
what is
stopped? It's the King's Avatar. Oh man, it's about gaming, like just professional gaming of League, but
League?
no, just like League.
Oh, okay.
Just like League of Legends. Okay, you like gaming, blah 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 blah. But they gave it a perspective. Once he starts gaming, you're like inside of the game,
Oh, okay.
and he's like using his character, and it's very good. I'm like, this is such a new concept. Like nobody's doing this before. It's like it's like for example, you playing League,
But you're in there
you're in the game
while being out.
while being outside. It's very good. It's nice.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's cool.
It's a nice concept. Once you watch it, okay. It's the way they draw the anime. I mean,
Their drawings are a little
the drawing is
different,
good.
right?
Is a bit different, but it's not too far off from the animes. It's just that the difference is the shot of which the camera is shot. Like anime, they like to zoom out. You know, we see the whole thing, background, trees, and blah blah blah. The person, the Chinese one, they get closer. When he's talking, you see his head. Like sometimes, like you see his torso, but you don't all the time see his entire physique. You're like, but no, but trust me, we can watch an episode after this. You realize this is very good, but back to the manual stuff is there's a lot of them that are very good, but my issue is it's too short.
Well, I mean, the Tower of God is not clearly.
And I forgot to tell you this, but there's a lot of manhwas about regression. Oh, I was
Like-
about to die. Oh, I'm back in 2016. I can change the life now. You're like, dude. There's so many of them. Like, oh, he wasn't about to die. He just got an artifact or whatever, and boom, that helped him go back in the past. It's like, oh, this time I'm going to be the strongest ranker. Blah blah blah. You're like, dude.
Well, you know what? Now that we're talking about
But it's
that,
good, actually.
It makes me think of like even like the TV show, the Korean ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they always have this time skip and memory loss.
Yeah.
Like all like so
Most
many
of
of them
them
is
do,
like
yeah.
somebody loses their memory at some point. It's like
It's like Japan. Most of the Japanese anime are shonen. There's
Yeah.
always that little
That-
guy
that
that doesn't have
Naruto
parents. and blah, blah.
character.
Yeah, yes, there's it's
yeah,
shonen.
but I mean, I feel like there's a little more like diversity, a
But-
little bit
but they
more.
do too. They do too. The Koreans have diversity, but the issue
Not
is
enough, in my opinion.
but the issue is it's always like, okay, this is different. But then you
But
find
it's the
one
same.
element that's the same thing over there. You're like, come on. Like the system. Like you back in medieval times, blah, 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 blah. You're like, hey, a knight, blah, blah, blah. He uses aura instead of magic or whatever. Aura.
Fine.
I like that concept. Like
Okay.
all of them of the medieval have this. And I'm like, this is good. This is good. I have no issue with it.
I'm cool.
And it's different genre.
Yeah, but then,
then
he
you
has a
have-
screen.
And then, no, he doesn't.
Ah, okay, good.
Like maybe one of those have a system to screen, but most of them don't. It's just that nice aura, blah 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 blah. I'm getting stronger, blah. Or maybe they throw in some regression in there, like and you're like fine, whatever. But then you have the marine. That's another genre, marine. So apparently, from what I know, the marine is like just like a mythology. You know, just
I like mythology stuff.
yeah, because apparently it's like a story, a book, like just like song, the Journey to the West, Songon Wukong, is just a character in the novel Journey to the West. So it's the same thing with the Marine. It's talking about multiple sect in this like old time Korea where there are multiple sect people with swords. they learn this type of swordsmanship, they learn this type of kung fu, whatever, but they still have aura, but it's not called aura, it's ki.
Okay.
You have the heavenly demon or the demon of whatever or poison, and you have Mount Hua. Those guys, they're Taoists, their style, they're always nice people. Blah blah blah. You have like whatever. It's a multiple thing, and there's a lot of Marine stuff, and they branch out in different kind of different style. But if you go into the Marine, you will always hear the Mount Hua sect, the heavenly demon, blah blah blah. Blah. It's like if you talk about the Greek mythology, you will always talk about Zeus.
Yes.
Yes,
You have to talk about
he's
Zeus.
always going to be in there.
Every path leads back to Zeus because he sleeps with everyone.
Yeah, that
What? That's what he does.
that's true.
No,
Did
but
you-
we're talking about sex, and I was thinking back to the god of high school.
Oh, see,
What's up with those powers? You know the dude that like his hand is just
bro,
like
that's what I'm saying.
like-
This is one of the worst
Ah.
memoirs I ever. It shouldn't have been animated. I'm sorry. That one should have just stayed as a comic. Stay there. And
yeah, no, but I mean the hand flattening the island was actually what kind
the
of
guy
like
is a
got
god.
me interested.
The guy is like associated with a god or whatever something.
But the same guy with the opposite guy in the cult thing,
Mhm.
which I was also like, it's always cool when there's a little cult somewhere. I'm like, all right.
Then you will like the marine
spicy
ones.
stuff.
There have a lot of cultists and
Yeah, but you know, it always has a little spice in there, you know? And then he was able to also do that stuff. And I'm just like, why do they have these crazy powers? Like, how do they get these crazy powers?
because they're basically gods, and some of them are like god reincarnation. Just like that little guy is the sun god Wukong.
Right. And he actually
yeah.
has the thing.
Yeah, and others are just able to use the power of a deity. Others are just like apostles, you know? That's all.
Apostles.
Yeah, whatever, apostles, whatever. They use the God's power, okay?
I did think that it was pretty cool the way that they, when they were trying to like prevent the thing that was
Mhm.
coming down with the guy who was like chanting and putting the mask on and
That was
throwing
cool.
up. I was
Yeah.
like, ah,
You know,
and they're
it-
like worshiping. I'm like,
it's
you guys.
it's all right, but my issue
yeah,
is
but overall, I was like,
it's
hey,
called
weird.
God of High School. High school. I'm supposed to see them in school, and it's supposed to be a high school, not a fighting tournament. When
But
I heard
it's a fighting tournament
No,
called
no,
the
no,
God
no.
of High
You
School.
know, when the first time I heard about this, it was in a comic version before you became like animated. I saw it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. And when I thought about coming back to this, it was animated. I'm like, I just watched the anime then. God of High School. All right, first episode. You're like, okay, he's talking about his grandpa, whatever. Keep on going. And
Oh, and I saw something in there. I wonder. I'm seeing the similarities. I don't know if it's because I'm watching them at the same time. But you know
JJK?
how, like, yeah, how the
the
boy.
grandpa and blah 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 blah.
No,
yeah.
but not just that. You know how he makes up this story?
What?
Like, oh, this kite is stuck in this tree. This kite that your grandfather gave you when he was on his sick bed. And the other guy has that too in Jujutsu Kaisen. And I was like,
It's just grade my things alike, I guess. But that guy from God of High School doesn't have a great mind. I'm sorry. Dude, they were in high school once. After that, it's a bloody tournament. You're like, all right, fine, it's just a tournament. And then you're like, what is this guy with this huge beard doing in this? He's not even.
yeah, but
it's
even
a
that.
grown ass man fighting kids.
You,
And he's getting his ass whooped. Yeah, what is this?
but even when they bring that guy in from prison,
man.
that guy they bring in,
Yeah,
from,
yeah, yeah,
and
like-
he's old.
Dude,
Yeah.
it should have been God of Tournaments or whatever. I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, just about the tournament and not like.
It's- yeah, like high school. I don't see
But,
the point of
but
high
that's the
school
thing,
in
see,
there.
because a lot of like the Japanese shonen stuff is
Mm-hmm.
high school based, right? It's always they're in high school a lot of times.
Mm,
A lot of them.
middle school.
No, high school.
Middle
Dude, a lot of things are in high school.
school.
Stop, really?
They're 13.
Oh, well, maybe their high school starts
Only
at 13. Hey,
Ichigo is in high school.
I was 13 when I was in high school.
Ichigo was 15.
It's true that most of the time they are very young.
Ichigo talks and walks like a grown ass man.
A
And at the
15-year-old
and
is
at the
not a
end,
grown
when
man.
when he kills the guy who kills God, yes, you heard that right. When he kills, I hate to blame you so much. Oh man.
No, but my point was,
Oh.
well, a lot of it, I thought it was there's a lot of high school, like high school days, this high school that. There's a lot of high school stuff in Japanese thing, and
Yeah. And
the
the
Korean
Koreans,
stuff,
yeah, they're starting to have them too.
yes, because they are trying to do it like
Yeah.
the Japanese, so they're
Mhm.
high school. It's cool, but in this case, it
It doesn't. It
really-
doesn't work.
yeah.
Like, you know why Solo Leveling is the manhwa that put the Korean anime on the map. Everybody are watching manhwas now because of Solo Leveling.
but I mean, their concept is good.
It's good and it's well.
Executed.
Yeah, it's well.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. But
They
then,
definitely. I mean, the way they started it is that's good. The thing with the god and the thing, and dying at the
Mhm.
altar and such, and then getting the power, and then you can level yourself up.
oh
It's-
yeah,
I'm sure that a lot of people who've played games have thought of this idea for
Man,
themselves in
no,
real
yeah,
life.
yeah.
It's like if I could level myself up this way, right? So
Mhm.
actually being able to like see some people who do
How
this.
far are you in? Like maybe 50, 50 chapter?
No.
30, 20,
like
something.
30. I just started this today.
Okay,
Dude. Like
I'm telling you,
13.
once you get up there, you're like, wait.
But he's like already
That
leveling
god,
up quite a
that
bit.
god statue wasn't the main villain because he goes back, and he's like, "Why was I chosen?"
Does it talk?
You know the angel who had the tablet that they were reading.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to do.
Yeah.
That was the real guy,
Really?
and they're like, "Well, let me tell you." In the beginning, God and the heavens were fighting these guys, and yes, I'm not kidding. That's literally how it's going to go.
Well, okay.
But-
I'll get to
But
it.
it makes sense. It makes sense. Trust me.
But how can he go back?
Because it's a dungeon. It's still in the spatial place.
Oh, so anybody who goes there again and fulfills the rules.
No. Because once it goes back, it's destroyed like it was destroyed. It only opened because they wanted him
Oh.
to have that power. You will get it once you get up there. Once you finish it, you're like, damn, all right. But
Or is
still.
it done? They don't keep going?
Oh, no, it's over. It's over.
Oh.
They did like at the end. It just shows his kid, but they realize, okay, we're not going to go the kid way. We're not going to make another one because of the kid.
Yeah, none of this Boruto.
See, that's why I
crap.
respect manhwas. They don't do it. Once it's over, it's over. There is no.
Yeah,
well,
you
know,
enjoy
his
it
kid
and
was
it's-
alive." No. No, they just needed to give him the kid because he, at the end, he becomes lonely.
Doesn't he hook up with that one girl?
Yeah, that's why he has the kid.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's because, but he becomes lonely because he. Okay, let me just give you the biggest spoiler. He reverts time back to fix everything.
So he goes back
had
to being weak?
no. He uses a god's goblet because apparently that scenario happened like thousands and thousands of times.
Oh.
They just, you know why they're letting those portals, people, those monsters, is because they're trying to get, like, the human to get stronger. Get power, get stronger, guys, because the other dimensions are actually coming.
Oh, okay.
And you guys need to get strong. And every time they don't get strong enough and the earth is totally destroyed, they're like, hey, reverse time again. So that's
You know what that makes me think of regular show? Because for those who have not seen regular show,
most people.
you should watch regular show. It's a really good show.
But yeah,
No, but you know, because that's literally what was happening in regular show. That same fight
Mhm,
happening every time the universe resets
no,
multiple
no.
times. Huh,
No.
interesting. Okay.
But yeah, what else to add? Oh yeah, they also like people getting stuck in video games. One day you were, this is my best game, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you know what?
Can
I'm
you
going to
imagine
stop, I'm
being
going to
stuck
sleep."
in League?
Dude, League is the no, it's not the worst. No, I'd rather get stuck in League.
What are you gonna do? Just stay at your fountain?
Dude, what if you get no? At least in League, you die, you come back. You
No,
die, you
but
come
I mean, look. Do you know like when you fight when you're like ranked
yeah.
and there's like this god level Shaco or Rengar,
Yeah.
especially Rengar.
Dude, Branger's
And he
terrifying.
appears and you like jump out of your seat.
that's
But
why-
imagine you're in the game.
But that's why I'd rather it to be this.
Because you'll be. Yeah,
Yes,
but like you're
but-
gonna. But no. Think about it
Dude,
this way.
have you
Imagine.
played Resident Evil?
I've seen some things here and there. Like I wouldn't want to be trapped in a zombie thing. I definitely wouldn't.
Dude,
Uh,
you don't want to. You don't.
No, but it's just like the fear and the suspense, getting ganked. You know, you're like, I had a ward,
No,
but
sis-
you get killed
Dude,
anyway.
there is plenty of games out there that you're like, nah.
I would
nah.
like to get stuck in The Sims. That's nice and easy.
Yeah, I mean, Sims is just like real life.
I don't want to be stuck in anything that has combat in it. No
See,
combat.
That's another concept for another video. I wanted to talk about something, but that's for another video.
Okay, fine.
But
Well,
yeah, they like to get stuck in video games, and boom, yeah, whatever.
like Sword Art Online again. Sword
Yeah,
Art
yeah,
Online, yeah,
yeah,
they get stuck
yeah.
in the. You know, and
But
what
I
you
feel
know what
like
I
Sword
think
Art
is
Online
absolutely
copied them.
whatever. It's like after they get stuck in the game and like so many people died.
Mm-hmm.
Later they have another similar game and people play it. I'm like, are you serious? In what world do you live in? That would never happen. Season 2. Season 2, they play something like
It
it.
will.
Dude, no.
I can see
The
it.
game would be banned.
Dude, I saw this guy, got drunk, crashed his car, and then he's like, "Oh man, this is so bad."
I'm
blah,
never
blah,
gonna
blah."
drink again.
And
drink
then the
again.
next Saturday, I see this guy drinking like it
but-
was a fountain.
But that's
Dude, you just said, "Hey, you gotta leave, Leroy." You're like, "Shut up, shut up."
no. But there's addiction with drink. This
But
is
it's the same
this-
thing.
no,
those
but
guys,
this-
those guys are addicted to video games.
But how is the game still allowed to be manufactured if it can
It's a
function
different
to
game.
this level?
It's a different game.
But it's the same concept.
Still, it's not the same company. That's what's happening right now.
Okay,
It's like,
well.
oh well, this company said racist stuff, and you're like, there's, oh, you guys should come to our company, but it's the same thing. Okay,
Well,
that's just how life is.
I just think that it doesn't make sense. I
Yeah.
think that well, season 1 was good, and then season 2 was whatever. Anyway, Sword Art Online, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, I mean, it's a love or hate. Sword Art Online is good.
I think
depending
season
on who
1
you
was nice. I liked
ask.
season 1.
Season 1 put
Yeah.
Sword Art Online on
Yeah.
the map. People like
Season
this is
2
good.
was like, yeah.
Season 4, I think it's 4, the one with Alice, whatever. They kept on going.
They kept
one,
going?
That one should have been season 2, because when you read it, when you see that one, oh man, this is solo leveling we were looking for. It's actually
Yeah.
good this time. Yeah.
No, because after I watched season 2, I was like, yeah.
I was forced to
I'm
watch it
good.
because everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, they're back. This is what we were waiting for." I'm like, okay, fine. And then I wait. I'm like, yeah, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But still, it's not that good. Yeah, it's like this anime too. What is it called again?
You know what I thought they should have done?
It's
I
like
don't think they should have ended season 1.
Fairy Tale. There we go.
They shouldn't have ended season 1 the way they should have just, because they could have kept going. They didn't have to end it.
I feel like it should have, because it was good. They tried to be like Black Mirror.
Black
One episode.
Mirror.
Yeah, one episode is a completely different story than episode 2.
Yeah, but that's not
But
the
that's
case.
what they did. First season is a completely different story than season 3.
I don't like that.
And then you get to season 4, it's a completely different story than
So it's not the same guy?
it's the same guy, but it's like, okay, we just took this detour instead of taking this one in this season. This one is about guns and whatever here, about this girl and blah 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 blah. And then you get to season 2, okay, we're talking about guns too, but it's still the same thing. We're protecting this guy murdering people in the game. Okay, fine. You get to season 3, you're like, what is this? It's a completely different story too.
I don't like that.
It's.
I don't like that.
But I was talking about Fairy Tale. It just came back like.
Yeah, Fairy Tale. There was a time when like I know my brother was watching it a lot, and he was like, "Oh, it's pretty good." I never got into it, and then I never heard about it
Fairy Tale
again.
could have been great. It's just that they fumbled the bag. It stayed childish.
Oh,
That's the issue. The concept was good, but
Yep.
then you get to a point once you like get in the middle of season 1, you're like, if you guys keep going with this, it's not watchable anymore because it's just too childish.
It is.
Yes. And the way they're doing the power ranking and blah, 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 it's like, damn. Like, it's a shonen. This guy is supposed to be the strongest. He gets his ass whooped every single episode. You're like, I don't want to see this.
Is that the fire guy?
Yes,
The fire boy?
yes. Once he wins here and there, you're like, oh, I'm looking for my dragon dad or whatever. You're like, okay, apparently the dragon dad was inside of him all along. You're like, okay, that's Naruto again. All right, that's fine. And then you get to a point where, oh, you're not actually a normal child. You're a child from way back 500 or 1,000 years ago. Okay, how did we get here then? Okay, fine. And then you realize, oh, you're not just any child. You're the brother of the strongest guy who has the death curse. You're like, okay. And this guy's
That's
been
taking
walking.
a little bit of Bleach too. Oh, hey, you're a human, but you're also a Quincy. Oh, you're also a Soul Reaper. You know
And
what? You're a
apparently
Hollow as well.
Apparently he died. And his brother was like, I'm not going to let you die.
So he gave
Brings
him
him
his life or
back to
something?
life, and he gets cursed that because of what you did, you did a forbidden jutsu or whatever. So now you're going to be cursed. Everything that you love dies. If
So
he gets close to something, it dies. He goes into a forest and he's like, I like this. The forest dies.
That's nice. Okay.
So he's
well,
been walking there for thousands of years alone.
he can live that long?
Yes, because of the curse. You're not allowed to die, bro. It sucks, but yeah. And then he's like trying to kill his brother. You're like, what is this? And
Yeah.
then as
Sounds a little confusing from here.
no, dude, it's confusing. It's confusing as hell.
Okay. Well, I never got into it, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Are they still going?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Think
Well,
so.
I mean, they wouldn't be going if some people weren't watching it, right? So I'm sure.
I
some
mean, the
people are-
Japanese. I mean, people think it's the same thing for One Piece and Naruto. Like, we check the most famous anime in the world. One Piece is not even top 10. It's just that it's the most famous anime in Japan. And some people outside of the world.
Wait. One Piece is the most famous in Japan.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's the top anime in Japan. You're not going to turn it. They even have streets named after One Piece. They even have bronze statue in most of the cities in Japan. You're
Really?
like, really? They just added a Jinbei statue just recently. I'm like,
I'm like, it's good, but like, let's not lose our minds here.
they're losing their
anyway.
minds with One Piece. But yeah, I think that's it for us
That's
with
all.
the
Yeah,
manhwa
we
stuff.
ended up in
Nope.
Japanese instead of Korean.
Yeah, but I mean, the Koreans are doing something great. Like, if you guys want to sincerely get into manhwas, you should. It's very good. They're doing something great over there.
Yes,
My
it's a
only
nice and
issue
simple
is they're not funded and supported like the Japanese are, because the Japanese anime is like a religion over there, and so not in Korea.
A culture.
No, bro. It's a religion. Like, I'm watching some
A
vlogs.
culture.
No. I'm watching some vlogs in on YouTube about some Japanese YouTubers and blah blah blah. And this guy who always do a life in a Japanese whatever guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
most of those guys, like, he's, for example, a plumber, and he's filming his life as a plumber in Japan. And he's like, well, I always have to watch a bit of anime here and there. Like, okay, well, that's fine.
Well,
That's fine.
his,
And then you
that's his thing.
next video of his, this lady's like, yeah, I watch anime a lot. I'm like, okay. Third guy, okay, everybody watches anime in Japan? What is this? It's a religion, I'm telling you. But anyways,
Part of the culture.
yeah, thank
I
you
should
guys
say
for
that.
watching. Don't forget
Yes,
to like, comment,
absolutely.
subscribe, and
And
share. Yeah, we'll see you on the next video. Bye.